I fucked up really bad. We was doing a night land nav course, and I had my pack on, had my rifle, um, and I stepped on this rotten log or something like that, and my knee went one way, we in the middle of the night. It's like 10 o'clock in the middle of the night, like pitch black. Got our little night vision on, and we trying to find these little boxes. Anybody in the military know about land nav? Again, I'm a dude from Little Rock. I don't play in the woods. Like I'm not familiar, you know. So I step on this log, like I feel my knee pop, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I'm like limping back. Obviously, I failed the test, and they chewing me out like you stupid fucker or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. It's 11 o'clock at night. I just want to go to sleep. And so the next day, my knee, like something is wrong. Like I don't know what is wrong. Like my knee is super swollen, and so now it's like I'm talking about, dog. Like I have never experienced pain like this in my life. I'm like, I don't know, God, what you trying to do to me? And so I guess people call this like a David Goggins moment. So at OCS, anybody who's been to OCS knows that you can get dropped, like, and it's fine, right? You get dropped. You're not a Marine. You're not anything. So they can send you home. They'll be like, oh, you can come back and try again later. And for me, it's like being old. I didn't have that opportunity. Like I can't go back to Arkansas and be like, oh yeah, man. They sent me home. I gotta go back again and redo it all again. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that shit. So I just would tape my knee up with athletic tape every morning, like under my uniform. And so I learned really fast. Like I didn't know what I did to my knee. I didn't know if I tore my ACL, MCL, whatever. But I knew I could move forward just fine. Like I could walk fine. It would hurt like hell, but I can like take it. Like I've been through worse. But I couldn't move laterally. I noticed that like if it was anything like skipping sideways, I my knee would just give out. And so I'm like, okay. And I had in my mind, like, dog, I'm not going home. Like either they gonna have to send me home or whatever. So I'm limping around this. Anybody who listened to this and that went to my OCS class, like they know they was like, they was like, oh, he just
Something's not
old.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jones ain't right. But they was like, he just old. That's why he limping. He just beat up. And I was like, okay. And so, yeah, I found out. I know what it is now. Well, obviously, because I had surgery. But yeah, I tore my MCL and my lateral meniscus, and so I was like, dog, I'm not going home. And so this is the second thing, right? How I got put on the second board. We had this thing called the E course, and we running through the E course, and you have to start with the O course, which is this where everybody sees on TV, like jump over this, flip over this, climb this rope, whatever. And so the first time I did it, I was like, I don't know how I can do this. And so it's jumping, it's everything. So I take my knee up like I normally do, and I'm like, I know even with this torn meniscus that I'm in better shape than a lot of people here. And so I'm like, all right, I'm a bullshit it. And like I'm not gonna be last, but I'm not gonna go as hard as I can because I don't know what I can do. So I kind of like go through it, and I think it took me like a minute and 20 seconds. And I'm like, and I'm still like, mind you, I'm still not the slowest. I'm faster than a lot of people. I
Yeah.
just wasn't the fastest.
Mhm.
Well, now I know this was like the warm up more or less. And so the next time we do it like a week later, we run through it and I'm going full speed. I'm like, oh, I know I got this now. It don't really hurt. And I can climb a rope like nobody's business. I'm like 6'2", so I can jump up the rope, whatever. And I think I get it like in 45 seconds, 46 seconds. Like
Ooh, all right.
smoked it, right? I'm excited. I get called into the office, and he was my commander is like, he was like, I'm putting you on the board. And I was like, I just smoked it. Like what are you talking about? And he was like, you had the biggest change in the whole company. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm failing to understand what and he that
That's
in that moment
adaptability, right?
he taught me a lesson real quick. And it's like, dog, like you don't get to decide when you put out. You put out
Mhm.
every time. And I was like, oh shit. That I and like and again, here's the humility. And I'm like, You right. Like I definitely didn't put out. He's like being a Marine Corps officer, being a leader of Marines. People are entrusting you. Like if we go to war tomorrow, they're entrusting their kids with you. You don't get to decide when you go hard. You go hard every time, no matter what. And so, like, obviously, I'm not going to tell him that I tore my meniscus because he won't send me home. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. You right. Like, I can't be mad at that. He was 100% right. I should have
Hmm.
just stinted on the first one and do what it is. And so in that moment, he put me on the board. Now this is second board. I have to go and talk to the colonel, the dude who's over OCS, and we had a firm talking, and everything he said was 100% correct, and I was like, all right, well, knee jacked up. I'm not gonna tell them, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna send it, and that's what I did, and I'm not, and knowing now, like I probably messed it up way worse than what it already was, because when I got back, the dude told me that I ain't have nothing left that he could work with, so he had to cut it all out. But it was that, and again, like you said, these defining moments, and I was like, man, he's 100% right. Like, how is it that you go through life, and it's like you kind of like, well, my back hurt, my knee hurt, and I'm just gonna take it easy today. And like this is the analogy for life. Like a lot of people go through shit. Like I get you, but you don't get to decide when you turn it on. You got to turn it. You got to show up every day. Like yeah, like take a step back, reevaluate the situation. Don't be dumb, but you gotta go because dog, there's somebody somewhere that's looking to me, and they're like, because he did it, I can too. You know,
Yeah.
and so even though I didn't like my platoon commander and he tried to put me on the board 2 times to get me kicked out, I respect him for it. And like, if anybody ever sees me post something like on my running stories, it'd be like roster, and it'd be like, shout out to Captain so and so. I'm not gonna say his name on here, but like, shout out to Captain so and so. I'm talking to him, and like, I don't know what he's doing in life right now because when we had graduation, he was like, at that moment, they told the day before graduation, they made me go get an MRI because they was like, you should not be limping around here or whatever. And I'm like scared as hell because I'm like, I don't want them to send me home and I have to come back and do it again. But I went. It was like whenever anybody who's been in the military, like you go at late at night. So I had to go like while everybody sleep. I had to go to Camp Belvoir up in Virginia and get an MRI, all of that stuff. And they found out that my knee was completely torn, my meniscus was torn, and the doctor was like looking at it like, "How long has this been bothering you?" So I lied. I was like, "Oh, it ain't never really been bothering me." He's like, "But you're limping." And I was like, I just thought it was just something in my hips. And so what nobody knows is like whenever I would go to medical, I would say something that had nothing to do with it. I'd be like, man, my back has been like bothering me. And they'd be like, oh, let's treat your back. And I'd be like, hey, while I'm here, can I just get the game ready and put it on my knee? And then the game ready was that like compression sleeve with ice in it. And
Yeah.
I would just be like, since I'm here, let me just go in and do this. Or I would go in and be like, hey, my throat is bothering me. Since I'm here, can I use that game ready? And they'd be like, yeah, because if you have a what they call a medical chit, and like you have to put on there like what you went there for. And so like if you do something extra, they don't put it on there. I'm like, I went for my throat, but I went and got the game ready. So that's
Mhm.
what kind of like got me through it. Um and I graduated obviously. I wasn't able to commission straight out because I was a reservist. So they sent me home to have surgery, put me in Wounded Warrior. I was in Wounded Warrior Battalion. Um, had my surgery, got back, and then I went to TBS. And fast forward through TBS, I made it just fine, and here I am.
Yo, that's crazy, man. I love to hear that story because there's a lot of people that talk about like mental toughness and having grit and stuff like that, but they've never really dealt with shit. And that's 10 weeks where you just had to fuck it and suck it up. And like especially the back half of that, like it didn't matter how bad that thing hurt. Like that's 10
Mm,
weeks that dramatically changed the trajectory of your life. And like
yeah,
it sounds like you realized that in the moment. And even greater than that, it doesn't sound like, oh, I need to do this because it's going to change my life. It sounds like, no, I'm not going to back down from this challenge, this thing that's in front of me. Like, I'm going to give it 100%. I'm going to give it 110%. Like, no matter what that takes, or like what the collateral is in terms of your knee, whether you make it or not. Because there's, most people probably wouldn't have made it through those 10 weeks dealing with that.
Mm.
And not only like would they not be able to physically do it or like mentally do it, but like there's things out of your control. Like that could have affected your performance to the point where like you just got cut and then you just have to deal with that on your own. It's like that's crazy to me to hear like the amount of mental fortitude that you put forth and you were able to just like do the thing that you set out to do and didn't back down. You just fucking did it, man. I think there's a lot of people listening right now that could learn a lot from that, especially because now like I don't know. I feel like people live their lives on the internet now, and like they don't really deal with like real adversity and like real like challenges that are gonna try you mentally, physically, and like change the outcome of realistically the rest of your life. Like people, yeah, there's a lot of people still dealing with that stuff, but like I think largely like a lot of people aren't gonna have those experiences. So to hear that you're out here and you're actually like you're living it, you're doing it, and you're putting yourself through it, and you're succeeding in a way that's not much more sweet because of how hard it was, how difficult it was to do that. And that's unreal, man. That's crazy.
So
So
the
yeah,
crazy thing about it, man, is like I posted this on my Instagram like a week ago, but it's like you said, like people talk about adversity, but it's like, and like I haven't been through it. Like I've never been in combat. I've never did those things, but I feel like there's levels, right? And so for
yeah,
me, it was like, dude, when your back is against the wall, like you're not thinking in that moment, oh, I'm super disciplined and I'm motivated. You just thinking like, I don't want to get sent home. And how, and like for me, dog, like being where I'm from, dog, like the thing about like what I was telling you in the beginning is like there was a guy that went with me. There is a time when your back is against the wall and all the cards are down. You have to ask yourself, like, who am I? And like I know who I am, and like I cannot come back to Arkansas and my dudes be like, hey man, like what happened? And he's like, oh man, X, Y. Anything that I say would be an excuse. They're gonna be like, what? You quit? And so in my
yeah,
mind, like I quit football. Like legit, I quit football because my confidence lacked or whatever, insert in any excuse that you want. You quit. Like at the end of the day, you quit. And what in the military we say, you rang the bell. And so the guy that went with me, like I'm like, mind you, we were in different companies, and so I never saw him. But then when we finally got able, like it was like week 6 or 7 when we finally got to interact with like other companies, I was like, look, I'm like, man, where my dude at? Like, and I messaged my recruiter and I'm like, hey, where's so and so? And he was like, oh, he quit. I'm like,
damn,
he quit. Like me and him, we were so excited. We was like talking about it to each other, and so I'm like, damn. And like I don't I don't speak that say that to say like speak negative to him because you gotta like we all gotta search our own souls and like what is it that's important to us. And in that moment, and if you are attached to something that is not necessarily deep within you, you'll quit. Like that's why I tell people like, are you playing football because you like football, or are you playing football because you want to make a better way for your family or whatever? Because if you just playing to be playing, I'm not saying that you can't make it, but when shit hit the fan and it get really really hard, you're gonna question yourself, and if you don't know who you are in that moment, you're gonna quit. That's military, that's anything. That's Navy SEAL training, that's Marine Corps training. I see it all the time. And it's like people, they're like, oh yeah, man, I want to be I want to be a coach, I want to be a trainer. Well, are you willing to work 7 days a week? Like I work every day. Are you willing to sleep on a cot with no bed because you stole it because you didn't have no money? Like how bad do you really want what you say you want?